Bonjour! Today we are at the Secret Lab Society of the Elevators. Now today we are going to be talking about photosynthesis. Now here I am with the two beautiful experts of this category. Here we have... Your name please, mademoiselle.
Hi, my name is Expert Rubisco.
Hello, I am Gunther von Gleitschwitz von Photosynthesis.
And I'm Sugar the Cow.
Attention! Okay, so the first question of this beautiful photosynthesis process is, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. First question. What, or how I should say, many steps are there to photosynthesis?
There are 2 steps to photosynthesis.
And what are the names of the steps?
The light reaction and the carbon fixation cycle.
Ja, das ist gut.
Deuxième question. Okie dokie. So, can you name the structure location where each of these take place?
Ja,
Yeah?
ja.
Then tell me.
The light reaction happens in the thylakoid membrane, which is located inside the chloroplast.
Which is in a plant. Ja, ist green.
Green.
It's the structure that appears in a plant cell, but not in the animal cell.
Very cool.
And the carbon fixation cycle happens in the stroma.
What is in stroma? We do not know.
Interesting.
It's also in the chloroplast.
Ja.
Oh, merci beaucoup pour cette information. It's very good.
Don't you want more? Like where everything is?
Oh, yes, I really do. Where is everything?
Okay, ja. Das ist ein ATP-Synthesis. Ja.
ATP synthesis.
It creates the ATP. So what you have is you have sunlight, yeah,
Oui.
light energy from the sun, yeah,
Oui.
obviously, and then you have water. It comes in here and then it is broken down.
Oh, low?
Yeah,
Oui.
Low.
Oui.
What sort of French nonsense is this?
To a
You say Wasser in Deutsch, not
terrible.
low. Terrible.
Pardon.
Okay. So in addition to the other things, we have
Oh.
photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. They are not called that because they are in order. That is just how they were discovered, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the cytochrome pump, right? It brings in the protons, yeah,
Oui.
into the thylakoid, which are very useful in the production of none other than both ATP and Stitaxi service here, which brings the protons over here down to the carbon fixation cycle, yeah?
NADPH.
Yeah, that is very good, very good.
Okay, prochaine question. What happened to the oxygen that was once part of the water?
Yeah, so as you can see, the oxygen is here. It is released back into the air, yeah? So it comes and it floats and floats and floats out, and then you breathe it in, and then carbon dioxide, yeah? That is another story.
Okay, and prochaine question après ça. What happens to the protons that were once a part of the water?
So they either travel into the taxi service that is NADPH, or they end up in this general area right here.
At the ATP synthesis.
Yep, inside of the thylakoid.
Got it.
Got it.
Okay, now, where do the electrons head?
So as you can see, the electrons are here and they sort of come across the pathways, and both photosystem 1 and 2 are connected here, and they come here, and they end up at Stitaxi. Yeah.
Oh, the taxi. Wonderful. Okay, and now, Ribukos, is that your name?
Rubisco.
Rubisco, I'm
Rubisco.
sorry, Rubisco.
Personally,
Okay.
I would not tolerate this.
Rubisco, I have a question for you. What work do the electrons do at the cytochrome?
As the cytochrome, the electrons are energized,
Ooh,
ready
la
for
la.
the ATP synthase.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What happens to the electrons at photosystem 1?
Yeah, so the electrons at photosystem 1, they are culminated there via the sun, the sunlight,
Yeah.
it brings them together. So, and they go on to come here, and they reduce the NADP plus to NADPH.
Oh,
Yeah.
bravo, bravo. Now, Next question. What happens to the electrons at the end of the ETS?
At the end of the ETS, the electrons are transferred over to NADPH to make their way to the second part of photosynthesis.
Bravo. Okie dokie. Now, what happens to all the protons that build up inside the thylakoid?
Yeah, so there are two potential fates for the protons in the thylakoid. Yeah.
D'accord.
So they can either come here to the ATP synthesis where they are produced into ATP.
Yeah.
Or they come here and they sort of travel along here and they end up on the NADPH taxi where they are transferred to step 2.
Merci. Okie dokie. So, what does the light reaction supply to the carbon fixation cycle?
Yeah, so the light reaction gives both ATP and ADP to the carbon fixation cycle.
Okay, and what are the raw materials that enter the carbon fixation cycle?
CO2 and Rubisco.
Okie dokie, we are almost done with our interview. Now, what is the end product of the carbon fixation cycle?
The end product is 3GP.
Oh, okay. And how many times exactly does the carbon fixation cycle have to turn to produce one sugar?
So to produce one sugar, the carbon fixation cycle here located in the stroma has to turn once and then a second time to produce our sugar, our G3P.
Yeah.
Bobo. Okay, after a vraiment long interview, we are finally at our last question, and now I can go get some well-deserved sleep. Okay, last question. And I want you to be nice and answer together, okay, guys?
Okay, yeah.
Because after all, we are friends and family. What
Whatever you
happens?
say, Frenchman.
What happens to the ADP and NADP after they're finished at the carbon fixation cycle?
Yeah, so they are recycled back into the system. Yeah.
To do it all over again.
Beautiful. That's it. And this is your reporter, Madame Riboulos, signing off.
This is Expert Rubisco
Und this is Gunther von Gleichwitz von Photosynthesis.
signing off.
And I'm Sugar Your Camera Woman. Catch you later.